Hi, we're here today at the Black Bear Film Festival, and we have seen some incredible films. My favorite part of the festival, of course, is interviewing the filmmakers. I'm here with Lily Bourdon, and you have a short in the Black Bear Film Festival.
That's right. The title is One Night Only.
One night only. One night. Right? Did you name it after that song?
No. It's about a couple that meets every 25 years for one night.
Oh my, that's
it's
great.
It's a platonic relationship, and I don't know if you've had that kind of relationship before where nothing really happens, but you just have this insane connection, and you never forget that person, and you know, when you run into them, it's like no time has passed at all. And so this is what happens with the characters in the film. After 25 years, they run into each other in New York City. They're a Hungarian traveling actor and a cleaning lady.
Now, what is your connection to the entertainment industry?
So thank you for asking. I'm an actor, and so I've got over 60 credits, film, TV, studio production, independent productions, and my mother is an actress as well, so I come from an acting background.
An acting family.
I love the music in the background.
I know. You know, this is how the universe works at a film festival.
Amazing.
We needed a background. We found it.
Film festival.
Right, it's great. I do too. So, what does your husband think about what you're doing?
He's very supportive. I made him a producer on the film because he was so supportive. And she did everything from
She's a good wife.
Preparing meals to driving my actors home in the middle of the night after a shoot. So he's here right now with our daughter.
I love it.
He's very supportive.
It's a family affair, and I think Lily brought out something that's really important. When you're making independent films, it's really great that the people that you surround yourself with give 150%. We're not dealing with huge budgets here, all right? This isn't Hollywood. So what was your connection to Milford that you knew? I didn't know about Milford till I came here.
I had a couple of things, like we were staying in a cabin around here, and we came and visited just in February, last February.
During COVID.
February. It was during COVID.
Yeah.
And we looked around the town, and we were like, this place is amazing.
There you go. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
I know you've got to rock and roll real quick. Do you have some films you plan on seeing?
I just saw Lady Killers and loved it. I just saw Job and loved it. I saw a movie about mooses, which I can't remember the title.
Which I had to miss. I missed it, which I love moose.
But yeah, I came here unprepared, like I didn't know what was going to screen. And then I got here, and I've been really enjoying the films that I've seen.
I love it. And you know what? Lily's got taste. She's been around.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
So much.
And I'm on my way over to see your film now, so
let's
let's go.
All right.
It's another incredible day at the Black Bear Film Festival. Let me tell you, the films that we've had this year, amazing. And I've been trying to snag this guy who's next to me all weekend long. So I'd like you all to meet John DeLeo. I call you a film historian, a film curator, an author. How have you been enjoying the festival so far?
I'm enjoying it very much. I mean, of course, there's the excitement of just being back in the theater, and the theater has never looked this good probably since 1911 when it opened.
Really?
So the incredible excitement from the moment we got here Friday late afternoon has been a lot.
So, of the films that you've seen so far, tell me the films you've seen so far, actually.
Well, of course, with the opening night film, the short about our local friend Maddie Giansanti last night. I just saw the documentary about the Tuneful Trolley.
Oh, you did see that?
Yes, you just saw that.
Right.
Which I had no idea was about Italian guys from Long Island, which I am one, so that was kind of fun.
I know, it didn't say that in the little blurb. I would have gone too. I missed it.
From not that far from where I grew up,
Wow.
but they're a little older than I am, maybe a decade. But it was basically, it was really fun.
It was a fun documentary.
And the movie last night about Maddie we were crying. It was so beautiful.
It was that movie was called My Brother,
My Brother, My Hero.
My Brother, My Hero.
Really,
I think what was so special about that movie, first of all, Maddie is one of a twin. It's Maddie and Anthony. They live in Milford now. They didn't originally, they were from Connecticut. I found that out last night. But they are twin brothers. Anthony is a baseball star, and Maddie is just a star. He was born with Down syndrome. And his story and his relationship with his brother, that is what was so incredible.
And as you pointed out in the Q&A about the movie's also a real tribute to their mom, Karen Guest,
Yeah.
who lives here. that she was this unifying force that made this beautiful family so possible.
It is their world. So I want to ask you this. For Black Bear, what would you like to see happen to our hometown festival going forward? What do you think would make Black Bear amazing for you, John?
Well, I love Black Bear, and I've loved it
Me
for
too.
20 years. I mean, obviously, I've had wonderful opportunities here, so of course.
And well, let's tell everybody about the opportunities. John has single-handedly done every interview, and many of them, besides the filmmakers for now, many of them are classic movie actresses.
That's been my little niche in the festival since 2005. If we could round up a classic movie star, we'd show one of their movies, and I'd interview them for about 45 minutes, either before or after the movie.
Right,
So
loved it.
the first one was Farley Granger, and then Arlene Dahl, and Tab Hunter, and Jane Powell, and Keir DeLay, and Jane Alexander.
March
There's
Champion.
more.
Let us not
Champion,
forget
there's
March
more.
Champion. Tab Hunter.
So I mean, I've always loved. I had this incredible opportunity. So of course, I'd love to see more celebrities come, because it's not only thrilling for what happens inside there, but when people see people come to town and they're in the restaurants and the hotels, and I can see it on people's faces, like, I never thought so and so would be walking around my little town in Pennsylvania. And they're always so happy when they're here, because the audience is so appreciative and loving. And
onward and upward. We're looking forward to next year's festival. A blessing this year that we were actually able to have a festival, that we can see these terrific films. And John, before we get blown away by this rainstorm that's happening, what are you seeing today?
I'm going back for the Ronnie Scott documentary.
Everybody's
on the Jazz
going. Okay,
Club.
I think I'm going to do that because I'm
It
hearing.
looks like every great artist is in it in the
Okay.
clip, so it's going to be great, I'm sure.
Okay, I will definitely see you later. Of course, I'm going to catch the scary Halloween movies too over at the
Oh, maybe we'll do that too.
3:45. John, you're always such a delight to interview.
So you're always a delight to talk to.
Oh my God, I love it. He said the right thing. Flattery will get you everywhere. Bye, everybody. Welcome to the Black Bear Film Festival. We saw an incredible film last night, and then we just got done watching Life of Layla, which about addiction. I couldn't even ask my question because my voice was cracking. And I am here today with Kathleen. I'm going to let you say your last name.
Kathleen Marinaccio.
Kathleen Marinaccio. But Kathleen also did, I want to get this in, the cover of the program and the posters are absolutely beautiful. Eye-catching, colorful, and humorous at the same time. So thank you. We're very excited to have our film festival this year in our renovated theater. What did you think?
I love it.
You love it.
I walked in and everything was painted. It used to be very green. I worked here in high school.
You did.
I have a fond memory of the theater, and it was my
it.
first job. And it's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the velvet, the new seats, the new walls.
We have heat.
The heat.
Heat is the biggest thing.
The bar, how he opened up the
Gorgeous.
bar. I mean, if you haven't been down, you should definitely come down.
We're very excited about it. So Kathleen, what do you think about the future of films that are shown at a small film festival like this? These are independent films. We just saw a powerful film, Life of Layla, about addiction. Word needs to get out there. How do you personally see getting the message out there through films, through these independent films?
Mm-hmm. So that's very interesting because I work in distribution at Warner, and what we have realized is that you have to go to and talk to all the distribution channels. So you can't just go be a film. You have to be on SVOD, subscription video on demand, like a Netflix or a Hulu or an Amazon. You have to work hard at this stuff. It's not just making the film. It's the marketing of it all too. So
The truth.
I've been around this business a long time. Although I do design and I don't sell stuff,
you know your stuff.
I hear the deals we work hard to sell a new show. We'll spend millions of dollars at the networks at Warner to make a new show, and it lasts as long as it lasts, right? So you gotta put a lot into it.
You really gave us what I call the meat and potatoes. Kathleen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so much.
Great meeting you, and we'll be seeing you throughout the festival.
And if you see me at the festival, stop me and talk to me. I'm super social bug.
You are super social, and I totally get it. Thank you. Thanks so much. This is so great.
Awesome.
Very excited to be here at the Black Bear Film Festival. Saw a very powerful film, Life with Layla, about addiction, which is something we're hearing about everywhere these days. It's been around as long as time, but a lot more so now with the pandemic. I feel we need to really shine a light on how people are coping and not coping with what we just came through. It is no longer business as usual, and there's nowhere near enough setups for people that struggle with addiction. So the film that they made, it spoke to me on so many levels. So without further ado, I'm going to have everybody go around, tell me your names and what you did in the film.
I'm Mike B., the director-producer.
I'm Kenny Spooner. I'm the co-director, co-producer.
I'm Caitlin Boris. I invited the producers into my life.
It's showtime, Layla. You're on.
You're the star.
I'm Layla Miller and I'm the star.
So this film, you know, we live in a time of reality television. This is a very serious documentary. I'm going to start with you. Why did you feel it was important to basically, these guys are there with a camera and they're really viewing your family, highly personal. Why did you think it was important to get the story out there?
Really, to break, end the stigma behind it, to make more people feel comfortable about talking. I mean, I've lost a lot of people where they wouldn't tell you that it was an overdose that they died from. You know, because they're afraid of the backlash you get from it, and that my sister she was just a great person.
Melissa, your sister Melissa,
Yes.
yeah,
And
your aunt, yeah,
and I needed her story out there.
right, and your dad then too.
And
Two family members, but you know, as I said to you a few minutes ago, I didn't look at your story as unusual. I looked at your story as usual, and you said it. There's a stigma. How do you think, the filmmakers? How do you think we get rid of this stigma that comes with addiction, and how do you do it through film? One of you can take that first.
I mean, it starts with just talking about it, and because there's so many people out there that are going through the same thing as you said, and you know, the fact that video and film is such a powerful tool to tell stories. And for me, I don't want to speak for Mike, but it's the only way that I know how to make an impact. I don't, film and storytelling is something that we're pretty good at, and we know how, our goal is to, I guess he said it earlier, but we want to humanize people, and their story makes such a great impact as far as the audiences go, people that watch it, and they'll start to talk to people after watching it, and then they'll tell people about it. So it's just starting the conversation, what we're trying to do here.
Do you feel that empathy is something that may be lacking in our society right now? That people are not empathetic?
I think that the world needs to be a lot more empathetic in general.
If someone hasn't been through something, they have no idea the toll it takes. And I didn't either until we had an open lens into the Boris family's life.
This was that's interesting. This was your first exposure.
Yeah, I mean, I had known of people that have passed from overdoses.
But it's over there. We read about it in the paper.
Yeah,
Someone
I was one of those people, and not that I didn't know people, because I did, but it didn't hit home yet. Right. And this sort of hit home for me for the first time because we spent so much time with them.
So how do you think we take a film like this, and what is your vision to get it out there, to make it hit home with people?
Well, we're trying our best to get as many eyes on this as possible, and there's no right way to distribute a film nowadays. There's so many different avenues, and as far as the streaming services go, there's a need for content, and we're trying to tap into that. But this is our first feature-length film together, and as you enter the industry and you try to break down those doors, it's extremely difficult.
All right, it's a lot more than a product, and you have to stay the course. And it is not easy now. I mean, 20 years ago, independent films, you could get them out there, and certainly at festivals, they would just, I love when people say this, it just gets picked up. Well, how does it get picked up? That was a brilliant film that you made, absolutely. We're back at the Black Bear Film Festival. What a weekend of films. You might ask yourself, how do they make all of these films come to life at this festival? Well, what would a film festival be without our director of film curation? How do you like that for a title? I am here with Matt Bechtold, and you're the man that made the magic happen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Proud of you. Okay, so how did you get into all of this?
So I met Max Brinson a couple of years ago.
And that was your ruination?
And that was he brought me into the fold. We went to the first festival about 3 years ago.
And he was hooked.
Yeah.
And absolutely hooked.
And want to get involved. So I started to talk to Max and eventually joined the board this past February, and then he gave me the job of getting the films, which was fantastic.
You did a really incredible job. That was one of the first things I said to Matt when I came here. We have a wonderful directory of our films produced by the Nikki Jones Agency, does our PR, and a beautifully designed cover. The catalog is something that you really have to pay attention to, because that's what draws people in. You know, we advertise the film festival. We have a beautiful poster that Kathleen also did, and that has been duplicated on the cover as well. So that's really, people are deciding, what should I do this weekend? They get turned on if you give them something that is appealing to them.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Like a playbill when you go to a show.
It is a playbill,
you take something you take with you, it's tangible.
Yeah.
It always helps, yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we have synopsis of all the films in there. So in your selection of films, we really had a lot of heart-wrenching documentaries this year. Were you trying to do that, or?
The theme, I wanted to come up with some kind of theme for it, and it was just really a lot of the films being stories of just real human, genuineness, and just, stories of trials and tribulations, but also redemption and just coming through what we all go through in life, and just, human stories of real people.
Right.
And especially with what we're coming out of, I wanted to make it a theme.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
How much did the pandemic influence your film choice?
It did. And like I said, I think that's what people wanted to see, are just these incredible stories of incredible humans that have been given some really tough situations, but have come out of them and continued on. And it's just, an important through line, I think.
Yeah, that's well put, an important through line. I know that I heard people talk, there was a lot of buzz about the films, and that is the thing that everybody wants a happy ending, basically. Now, and let me tell you, now more than ever, people want a happy ending.
Absolutely, and so that's sort of the theme I wanted to go with the salon films and the features, to just give people a good feeling of strength and to feel better about it.
I noticed with the salon films, which I caught a whole bunch of those too, we had some wonderful shorts. A lot of them were local.
Yeah, I tried to intentionally do that to get things that people could relate to who live around here and be able to come and see something about their areas.
If you were going to pick like your favorite.
I would have to say, Ronnie's, which would just play, is an incredible documentary of the jazz club. That's one of my favorites.
Which I had never heard of. I spoke to some of the other people. It seems this particular jazz club, let's see, had, you tell me some of the people. It's everybody.
Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Miles Davis, Jimi Hendrix. A lot of people played through that club,
And people were very excited about seeing this film.
It was a masterfully done documentary, and I would love to go to London one day and go to the club, because now it's got me hooked. And this is the third time I've seen the documentary.
You've seen it 3 times already.
Yeah, because it's that good. But, and also Life with Layla, which we had play yesterday.
Unbelievable, and I did their interview after.
I saw
that. That was an
great
unbelievable story about addiction, which, in my mind, I feel you can learn from film. Film advocates, it educates,
and
as well,
lives.
And it saves lives. I think. I was talking to filmmakers from that. Would it be great to get that film screened in any number of places?
And I told them I want to help them as much as possible to get that done, because it is the kind of thing, like I said, you can show it and it may influence people, inspire people, and save lives as far as that fight against addiction.
Isn't that great? What do you do in your real life?
I am an actor. I actually have a show coming up in November in the city at Theater Row. It's called the Lanford Wilson Project, and one of the filmmakers I had yesterday, who did Lady Hunters, one of the shorts, Angela Atwood is also in the production with me.
Cool.
So that's happening in November. at Theater Row in the city.
Well, you'll have to keep us posted.
Yeah.
I live in the city.
I have a card. I'll give it to you.
Okay, I'll give you mine as well.
The show, yeah.
It's all about promotion and networking.
Exactly. How easy it is.
How easy it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much. I'd like you all to meet Matt Cappuccino, whose film is Malaysia. And I have to say, in the program, the title completely turned me on. I thought it was going to be a foreign film about going to Malaysia. So, Mac, take it away. Tell me a little bit about your film.
It's basically kind of like a take on a bunch of different movies, basically 3 kind of useless people who fancy themselves not useless, hanging out in this bar, sort of
Isn't
trapped.
that everybody we know?
Yeah, literally, yes. That's why making this movie wasn't very difficult.
So I get the feeling that this is not your first rodeo. Tell me about yourself as a filmmaker.
It's not. So I have been making movies for a long time. Actually, my mother, who's somewhere here, she met a filmmaker on an airplane when I was in high school. She knew that I wanted to make movies, and that filmmaker was like, well, look, if he wants to come work for free, you can come work on the movie. And that was like the first movie I ever worked on.
How old were you?
I was 17. I left high school. I still did all my high school work.
You did?
Again, B to B plus. No, I worked on that movie. That was a movie called The Living Wake. It starred a young Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh my gosh.
Written by Mike O'Connell, also starring Mike O'Connell. And Malaysia is obviously the first one that I wrote and directed.
This is writing and directing for the first time.
Yes, exactly. I always work intimately with the directors that I've worked with to work on the screenplay, but nothing where I would say like I wrote that. You know what I mean? You always help out. You know that this is everyone.
Well, yeah,
helps.
Especially in indie films, you end up doing everything.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the first one that I'm like, I wrote this, I'm directing this. You know.
This is great. What made you decide to submit it to Black Bear?
It's just, I feel like festivals like this still have the soul of what indie festivals were.
Festivals like Black Bear have the soul of what an indie festival is.
Right, and it's just, you know, there's a lot of like larger festivals that I just functionally don't believe they could see all the movies that probably apply to them, and this festival just seems more like where film lovers are going to go and spend time with, and those are the people that I want to sort of engage with.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody with Black Bear is completely committed. Before you, I interviewed Matt, our curator.
Okay.
He did a phenomenal job.
I thought he did a great job.
Oh my gosh, the films! I'd be here all day if I talked to you how much I loved.
Oh
this
man,
whole
they did a
festival.
great
I know you
job.
got it,
Matt
right.
did a great job. I watched I think like 5 or 6 movies yesterday.
Yeah.
It was programmed. The short program was awesome.
Short program was
the narrative
incredible.
feature. I watched the documentary yesterday morning. I cried for like an hour.
Right through. So you hail from upstate New York?
I do. Yep, Lockport, New York, just north of Buffalo.
Wow, that's like far.
Where
Like,
the locks for Lake Erie are.
That's why it's called Lockport.
Yes.
I was wondering. So what kind of film community do you have up there?
One of the best in the world.
I love hearing this. Tell me about this.
They are just, on the younger side, they're all just hungry and want to just be making movies. Like,
are they affiliated with the university? Like
so Buff State has a great program.
Buffalo State, yeah.
Buff State has a great program. UB has an awesome critical thinking, critical theory film program. So between those two, you could live on either side. You could live on the writing side, or you could live on the production side.
Where did you think of Milford while you were here?
I love Milford. I can't wait to come back. I stayed at the Meyer Hotel. I feel
those
like
cabins.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like constantly vacillating between like a fairy tale and a horror movie.
That's exactly how we feel there.
Right. Historically, I learned so much while I was here.
Yeah. Did you get to go to the Columns Museum?
I didn't get to the Columns. Yeah, I walked past it with my folks. I wanted to check it out.
You wanted to go to Great Tower.
I didn't get to see Great Tower.
Okay, Matt.
I just learned.
Come back.
I know. Well, that's the thing.
Matt has to come back. That's the name of the film.
I'm gonna
Matt
come
comes back.
I'm gonna come back to Milford. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Well, we are so happy to screen your film, and you're like the icing on the cake. You're
thank
the
you.
last film of the festival.
And
I'm sad. I don't want it
Me
to
too.
end.
Honestly, I'm just gonna come. I got all your guys' info. I'm making a movie just so I can come back next year, just so you can.
I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make something so I can just come back next year and enjoy the festival.
Do it. We need to start doing, and I think it'll happen. The alumni of the Black Bear Film Festival.
in.
We're alumni of the film festival. Hopefully
I'm
our
in.
film that we've been working on 3 years will finally be ready, fingers crossed. You know, it all takes a lot of time.
It really does.
But it's,
It
you know,
really does.
it's what we love to do. Matt Cappuccino, the film is Malaysia. Watch for it.
Bye.